We'd like to welcome XDG's bot lane, Sheep and Zuna to the desk. Gentlemen, congratulations on the game. Quick, before we start this, Zuna, how many times did you thank Sheep for saving your ass in this game?
Good amount. I was like, oh God, Lantern, Lantern, Lantern. And then he's like, I got you.
All right, what was the mentality coming into this? Because it seemed like you guys started off on a completely different foot, and it was the right one.
It came down to we felt we just had to win this because against EG, if we did lose, if we did beat them, then it would go to they had a game advantage on us for the 7th spot. So now it comes to just the best of one for us or the 7th spot.
Yeah, but Sheep, you actually seem to be playing a little bit out of your mind during this game. What do you think enabled you to do so well against this TSM team comp?
Actually, I made quite a few mistakes. I used my ult by accident one time. I don't know if that was on camera, but that
was right at the top. We thought they were fighting.
Other than that, though, yeah, I played pretty well. I was happy with it. Thresh has always been my best support. We just haven't been able to put out results with it. I think we were 0-3 before this game. So, like, if you're losing with your best support, it kind of gets to your confidence a bit, obviously. But I just said, hey, guys, just first pick me Thresh, YOLO, and it worked out. So. Yeah, I'm happy that we were finally able to get a win with it. And yeah, aside from a couple mess-ups, I think we played the game pretty well.
Zuna, your picks with 80 carries have been quite versatile. Coming back lately to Jinx and Kog'Maw, are you looking for those late-game carries again that suit you a little bit more?
Yeah, I definitely like late game carries because once it gets to the late game and you have 6 items, you're just such a big threat compared to having the early mid game because our early mid game has been pretty lull lately. So just hoping out for the late game with good, strong picks.
Yeah, and was that a strategy there for your entire team going into TSM, like we have to beat them in the late game, or was there something else going on there?
I think it came down to we want to have a team comp that scales just as good as them, and we won't die early game. That's what we came up with.
All right.
Where do you guys think you found your strength in this game? Sheep, I'll kind of start with you. Your rotations in the early game, is this something you always want to do, or do you think it had to be played like that against Team Solomid?
That's just something that I learned from playing solo queue for so long, to be honest. If you're winning your lane, it's really good to always just roam mid, give presence to other lanes. If your lanes are losing, it's a lot harder to pull that kind of maneuver off because obviously you don't have pressure in the other lanes. If you roam to a losing lane, it's really difficult to try to make a play because you could just get 1v2'd or if the jungler's there or something. But the first roam that I did, I think, down to mid from top, I think, was when we killed Bjergsen.
Yep.
It just worked out perfectly because I don't think they had vision on that side of me, so they were anticipating to gank ManCloud, and then Jake came in, Xmithy came in for the perfect counter gank, and Odd One had already flashed, so it was just a perfect kill. Yeah, we just had a really good early game that game.
Yeah, and then also, it was rather close near the end of it. Actually, if we can pull this clip up on the screen, it seemed like TSM may have finally taken the upper hand on you because they were pushed right into your base, and you guys were trying to push them out. Actually, walk me through this clip and what your mindset was when you were able to push them back.
It came down to we got Pokemon Expression. We're like, okay, good, it's good chunk. And then we still weren't in position, so everyone's kind of scared. And then we saw that the cocoon landed when he had no flash. So Benny flashed in there. My ult kind of hit, and then we got the kill. And then we were just like, oh, God, Benny's dead. Benny's dead. And then Benny's like, no, I'm still good. And then we just somehow got kills because they thought they could kill him.
Yeah, it seemed like the whole game it was TSM just not quite being able to break through all of your peel to get in for the fight.
Yeah, I had Mikhail's and Face of the Mountain for Benny, which is like a ridiculous amount of shields. On top of Orianna, Ryze is pretty tanky at that point too, so it was just too hard for them to kill him. And then here, I think we made a pretty big mistake chasing Turtle.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that part.
Yeah.
It may have happened. That could have been the end of the game, but who knows?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys, with watching some of the games today as you've been in your green rooms, obviously EG is playing out of their minds as well. What are your thoughts about that upcoming match?
It's a really big match, and just have to play as well as we did last game, and hopefully we'll pull through.
How do you set up for something like that, knowing you kind of have a game off now? What's the prep even just in a few games?
It comes down to not even really watching the next game and just talking all about the game coming up.
Yeah, it's really all going to come down to that, try to get the 7th seed. But Sheep, I noticed you had a few supporters in the stands today. Do you want to kind of tell me about the story there?
I didn't even know they were coming this week. It's just my family. They flew in from Canada. My mom flew in from Alberta, and my sister and her friend flew in from Ontario near Toronto. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have them there. But obviously, I just want to win games. So at the same time, it kind of sucks if you're losing. Your family like flew all the way from Canada to come watch you. So hopefully we can keep winning.
So how do you guys take into consideration when you do have this big game against EG? And obviously, Thresh probably going to be something to band out. Jinx maybe something. You guys won't get that pick. When you use something this strong, What if it's all gone? What do you guys have something else in mind? How is that going to work against EG?
I feel like for this game, we really didn't pick our strat that we wanted against EG, and that's what we've been playing for. So.
All right. So you guys still got it.
Able to hold some punches against TSM and actually beat them. Rather impressive.
Yeah.
Freak would destroy me if I didn't mention this, but he loves the fact that you guys have won one game against every team in the LCS, but only one. Is there anything to that, or is it just random chance, do you think?
I feel like we're good enough to beat a team as long as we play well. We're just inconsistent, and that's what happens.
We can make it 2 against EG today, though.
Yeah, that'll be the trend breaker.
Yeah.
So ManCloud came out pretty big in this game. What have you guys kind of seen as, what has he been doing with not having as good as a gear? Has he been kind of doing anything for himself to better in that position?
I think lots of it comes down to communication for him, and the meta did change a bit, but I think more than that is just the communication and just knowing what to do at the right time for the whole team is improving everyone.
Yeah, and final question for you, Zuna, as far as like reacquainting yourself with the role, how's your AD carry role going now, later in the season?
It's definitely better than when I just started, but I'm still don't feel as I'm as good as before when I was at World, so still practicing a lot, and I'm still getting the hang of things.
All right.
Right on, guys. Best of luck to you and Evil Geniuses in the game later today. Congratulations on the current win. All right, everyone, we're going to throw it back over to Freak and Kobe for our next match. But as we go, Coast's strategy for winning against